I'm sure this is probably a really weird angle to be watching me at, but this is the best I can do for what I'm here for, which is a get ready with me, because all my makeup stuff is over here, and of course because I'm talking at you from my mirror, there's, you know, hello, two of me, and it's a really weird angle, so we'll just see how this goes. But I am here to I just felt like, even though it's over 90 degrees Fahrenheit here and my apartment doesn't have air conditioning, I just felt like before it got hot I wanted to do my makeup for once, which I haven't in a long time. But I just wanted to share with you guys, while I am getting ready for a day of not going anywhere, kind of how I started in Lolita and my first meetup, because that is a question that I get asked a lot, mostly when I'm meeting new people. And you know, when you're meeting new people at a meet and they're just like, well, so, you know, how did you get started? And I'm just like, I don't know. So that's usually how it goes. And I'm not going to tell you what I'm using, because that's going to be impossible to like try to show you. But if you care what I'm using, just ask, I guess. I don't know. This isn't the most professional video ever. I just felt like doing something because I haven't filmed in forever. And I really, really, really needed to just get creative here. So, back to my story, which I haven't even started yet. I still don't remember how I heard of Lolita fashion, but it was definitely a long time ago, because my first meetup ever that I attended was when I was 11 years old. Yes, I went to my first meetup at 11, and I remember that I went at that age because the only photo that exists of me from that day, which I can't show you because it is long gone, buried in ye old archives of LiveJournal, and thank goodness, because I was a hot mess as an 11-year-old Ita. But nevertheless, so my first meetup was in 2006. I feel very grateful to Janine, who is still in the comm, still like half the people, well, maybe not half the people, at least two of the people who were at that meetup, I remember, are still active in the comm today. Maybe I'm a little out of breath. It's starting to get hot in here, and if you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I am pregnant with my first child, and unfortunately that means that I get out of breath really easily. So I'm gonna be super breathy. Please bear with me. But yeah, so shout out to Janine, who, with as much grace as at the time, 20-year-old who's hosting a tea party can be when somebody RSVPs and shows up with their dad, who just wanted to make sure that he was dropping off his one and only child with an actual person and not just dropping them off at God knows what location with who knows what people. So there's that. But nowadays, if you are a child, a literal child, not even a teenager, I don't think you're going to a meetup. Just don't do it. It was weird. I felt very out of place at this tea party. I think there was maybe 8 of us, and I'm losing track of what I just did. So there's 8 of us, and it was at like a formal, like, tea, Lisa's Tea Treasures. Still around, not that location particularly, but again, I felt very out of place. I had nothing to talk to. I just kind of sat there quietly the entire time, and afterwards we hopped across the street to the Winchester Mystery House, which, if you don't know, is a very, very old, if you know the Winchester Rifle Company. Yeah, I guess they make more than rifles now, possibly. I have no idea. But it's a haunted house. I was never finished. And in the gardens of that is where we took the ill-fated photo of me in my absolute Ita outfit. So you're probably all dying to know, and by dying I mean you really don't care. But then again, if you're still watching this at this point in my rarely rambly, not very well planned out video, then you probably are interested. And so me, wee baby at 11 years old, with my English Gothic and Lolita Bibles from Borders, if you can believe it, I pointed to things that I liked and online, because even if I had money at that time, 2006, it was incredibly hard to get brand over here. It kind of feels like now, almost, trying to get packages over here, but I digress. And so my mom made my first coordinate. It was bad. Went to Joann's and we got like pure white, no, maybe either the skirt or the lace. The fabric or the lace was off-white and one of them was pure white. That just tells you all. But it was a 3-tiered with lace at each tier, like skirt, and then a blouse, again with mismatching lace. This is where the rule of don't mix whites and off-whites came from. I swear to God, it was horrible. But so I had a skirt and this blouse, and she made me this lacy jabot. And I felt very fancy because on my jabot I had pinned it from an antique store a little gold, like, French harp. It was a little gold brooch, and I put it right smack in the middle, and that was the only piece of clothing on my coordinate that wasn't white. It was a very shiro cord. I don't think I even put anything on my head at that point. Looked kind of like this with long brown hair. I didn't have bangs. And I had white tights, pure white tights, and like black Mary Jane shoes. And it was just a hot mess. And that was it. It didn't look good, but bless the calm at the time for not saying anything and crushing my little 11-year-old spirit. Nobody said I looked terrible. Probably because half of everybody there looked terrible. No offense, but I mean, it's 2006 and we all looked kind of terrible back then. So that was my first meetup. I didn't go to another meetup, I don't think, for a while. I kind of took a break, probably because I realized, hey, I don't have money, and this is hard, and I don't fit in with these, 20-year-olds. So I took a break and I stopped, like, dressing in Lolita. I didn't really buy anything for a really long time. And then this is kind of turning more into my evolution as a Lolita, I guess. I could put pictures over here, I guess, if I find any as I'm talking. I kind of took a hiatus for a few years until I was in high school. So I just saved up my allowance, did extra chores and birthday money and Christmas money, and I saved up and I got some things off of eBay, Rakuten, before Rakuten shipped like internationally. I don't know how that worked. I bought something Morike from Rakuten and they just shipped it to me from Japan, and because they didn't really speak English and I didn't speak Japanese, but I don't know what happened. They shipped it and then without me paying and at all, because I just picked order, and then I guess they sent an email and then they were like, oh yeah, we shipped it, and then like 2 months later they sent me another email being like, oh, can we have your like card details so you can pay for your stuff? And this is 2 months after I've gotten my sweater, and so I typed in my mom's card information and they never charged it, so I got a free Mori sweater somehow. I digress. It was a wild world then in terms of international ordering. I'm still rambling. See, I can't do my makeup and talk at the same time. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. I hope this is entertaining, at least entertaining enough to just put on this video while you're doing your own makeup or driving or something. I don't know. Right, yeah, my evolution. So I started back up when I could save money, and I got my own high school bank account so I could put all the money I'd saved in it. And my first brand purchase, when Innocent World just started shipping to the US, They just started international shipping. So I bought this black teddy bear, like pochette. I'm usually so good at pronouncing French. I still don't know how to pronounce it. It's a tiny bag. But nevertheless. And a pair of socks. And it was on like full price, it wasn't on sale, and I felt like so cool, and you know, I just had my one brand item, and that was great, and I paired it with Bodyline. I think I still have the pictures of that somewhere. And my first brand dress was when I'd saved up all my money, and I dragged my mom, because I could drive, but I didn't have a car. So we went all the way up to San Francisco, and she hates driving to San Francisco. Yeah, I was 16. Because it was 2011 when we went to the AP store, and I was so excited because I brought all my money that I'd saved up, and I bought the original honey cake OP in mint. And if you've like done any research, or I don't know how common this knowledge is, but honey cake is really, really, really sought after and popular. I mean, we just got a giant re-release. But when it was originally released, it was not popular at all. I mean, like, I didn't even rush up to the store on opening day and happened to buy it. I mean, like, it had just been sitting there. And that wasn't the only piece left. I don't remember what else was there, but it wasn't the last piece. So I bought it full price. I got my first stamp card. I was so proud of myself. And then they asked me, do you want the matching head bow? And I didn't have any more money. I just saved up just enough to be able to buy this $300 dress. And this, to my day, remains one of my biggest, like, Lolita fashion regrets, is I should have asked my mom, can I borrow 30 bucks to get this matching head bow? But I didn't know better. And so I was just like, no, it's okay. Like, I just want the dress. Little did I know that every time I wore that dress in the future, I wish I'd bought that head bow because they were impossible to find, and I probably would have gotten more money when I eventually sold it. And that started my inevitable journey into being a brand whore. At that point, I pretty much only wore Lolita to Fanime, and I did a couple really, really, really bad photo shoots with a friend. I should probably ask her if I can post pictures of her. If you see her, she said yes. If not, it's just me being ugly. We did really bad photo shoots, like local Japanese garden, and it was just all bad. And now I can't talk while I'm doing this, so. There, magical. And I realized I forgot to do something. But yeah, so that's what I did in high school. Lots of Bodyline. Started buying secondhand pieces off of the EGL comp sales on LiveJournal. And then like my senior year of high school, like my junior, senior year, I think is when I really, really started getting into the community and not just wearing it on my own being ugly. And I started buying things secondhand. There were a couple of swap meets. Let me just tell you, most of my like Lolita like journey has been me feeling like a baby, and as a 24-year-old I now am starting to feel like there are people younger than me, and it's a weird feeling, but I like it. I like not feeling like the baby anymore. But yeah, I went through a mint phase the last year or so of high school into college. Started buying more brand. Just trying to buy new blush. Went through a mint phase, was huge into Angelic Pretty. At that time my wardrobe was pretty much AP, lots of mint and red. I liked that combination at the time a lot. And Innocent World, I had two kind of big styles then. Now I've gotten better at having a more cohesive wardrobe. But started buying things off of Japanese auction sites like Mbok and Yahoo Auctions. Those are the only ones at the time that I remember. All this Mercari frill thing, like those didn't exist. So anytime I hear somebody be like, oh, like I just discovered like auction sites are so much cheaper, I'm like, yeah, they've been around forever, and trying to buy from them sucked. Like, there was a shopping service like Japonica, I think, where you could actually like bid on stuff, and then I would have to wait up until like sneak out of bed and like use the family computer like 5 in the morning, because that would be when like auctions would expire at midnight in Japan, and try to like, it was bad, it was hard. Having shopping services now is so much more convenient. And then in college I started actually, like, once I got a job at 18, like, things started getting better and I could actually afford more things. So I bought a lot more secondhand stuff. I started buying a lot more, like, from the actual stores. At this point in time in college, I still had honey cake, by the way. I only sold honey cake like a few years ago, and it's starting to get hot in here. I don't even want to get dressed in a cord anymore. Can I just have a full face of makeup and stay in my like pajamas? Is that too weird? But yeah, where was I? I don't really know. In college is when I finally started like actually having a built-out wardrobe. I really got a hang of things once like shopping services and big brands started shipping to the US, and made it a lot easier. And I was experimenting more, did some really bad experiments, did some really good experiments. That's when I kind of solidified my style. Again, I'm posting pictures here. Hopefully I remember to do so. I think my face is done. When I graduated college with a big girl job, and now I don't buy secondhand very often anymore, mostly because I'm lazy. But, you know, since graduating college in 2017, I don't buy as much as I did anymore, just because I have a fully, like, I'm pretty happy with my wardrobe right now. Which unfortunately means that I've kind of stopped making videos. If you can't tell, making YouTube videos and starting my Instagram thing was definitely a college experience. Oh, it's really good, starting to get hot in here. And I still have my hot tool. Okay, anyways. But yeah, I just don't make a whole lot of content anymore. But I'm hopefully gonna start up. I mean, I keep saying that. I feel like most people, when they do these, like, oh yeah, my Lolita journey thing, they like look at pictures and then they talk about their actual coordinates, but I decided to just kind of do this on a whim because I started out just talking about my first meet. Yeah, so I don't have pictures to look at. I mean, I'm talking about things, but I don't know. I also wore it a lot more often than I feel like some people who make these videos do. Like, I wasn't just like a convention Lolita. I wore it like to see my friends. I wore it, you know, to make videos, obviously. I wore it with my boyfriends at the times. I wore it out with my friends. I wore it to the movies, you know. I mean, now I'll just go to the grocery store. But, you know, I wore it a lot more often. Like, I decided to do this mid-ponytail. I have 506 coordinates on my phone. The first one dating January 25th, 2013. That's when I first, like, had the, like, a camera phone. So, yeah, so if I were to just pick out, like, coordinates and start talking to them at pivotal points in my life, I would be talking for, like, 4 hours. I tried doing that for the last wardrobe post I made, where I just talked about my dresses. Yeah, that was too long. I don't think anybody likes listening to me talk that much. This video in and of itself is probably way too gosh darn long as it is, and if you're still here, wow, you're bored. But I'm just gonna skip through this because braids take freaking forever. So, I kind of jumped through because my camera stopped recording because it's so long this thing has become. Oh, what? Better, I guess. But yeah, so that's my first meetup, my Lolita journey in a nutshell. And by nutshell, I mean I could tell you so much more about when I started modeling, when I stopped modeling, you know, like entirely different changes in my life regardless, wardrobe additions, hosting meetups, conventions I've been to, but I don't want to because, frankly, this is too long as it is, and I hate my bangs right now. I want this thing to end so I can see my hairdresser because I can't cut my own bangs. I mean, I do, and she scolds me endlessly for it because I mess it up every time. But yeah, now I am happily married. I am pregnant. I want to start doing mommy Lolita things, which might be weird, but hey, you know, we don't know where life is gonna take us. Thanks for watching, or more likely, thanks for listening to me ramble. Hopefully, if the weather cools down, I'll start making more videos, but no promises because I keep feeling like I promise. Plus, at this point, I don't know, does anybody watch YouTubers other than Lovely Lauren's Carving Scarves anymore? I don't have that production level, I don't have that dedication, or that money. I have a full-time job. No thanks. But yeah, this will probably just be the only outfit I wear today. We'll see. So, I'll see you next time. Bye!